All right. In fact, I want to quickly take that forward with Captain Vinod as well before we play out a quick report. Captain Vinod, this could also be one of the reasons why the pilot could not eject on time. Perhaps it was the angle with which the Tejas fighter jet in fact crashed.
Kanksha, no, to one more. Yeah, you're right. One more thing to add to that is, it is a dynamic maneuver. In a dynamic maneuver, the pilot is on controls, flying the aeroplane, and trying to complete his barrel roll maneuver. Secondly, if you notice the point at which the aeroplane impacted the ground, the nose is well above the horizon, which means the pilot is seeing the sky, he's not seeing the ground. So, you know, uh, like most fighter pilots, when we on work go
Right.
down, we
In fact,
go down in flames.
during the first crash that had happened back in 2024 in Rajasthan, the pilot was able to safely eject.
Yeah, it was a malfunction, technical malfunction on finals. He had adequate time. And like I said, the 00 ejection seat, Martin Baker, very good seat. It has saved so many lives. So at that time, he was able to get out easily. But in this case, if you notice, it was kind of a rolling, looping maneuver. We call it the barrel roll. And the bottom of the barrel roll is the time you get to see the ground. And by the time you see the ground and you recover, he almost recovered. I can see it very clearly. He almost recovered. Couple of meters more, he would have been out. Like I said, the 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 devil in this entire episode is the thin air because of the heat. That is, to me, that appears to be the more plausible reasons than any other reason that we are seeing. Uh, where thinner the air, hotter the hair, thinner it is, less lift it will give you. So the same maneuver over and over again, the pilot did it. I'm sure in the morning also he did it on display. But the morning condition and the afternoon conditions are different, especially in a desert area like UAE,
Okay.
where temperature variations from morning to evening is very, very high.
All right, stay with me, Captain Vinod. We're just going to play out a brief report over there, which has just now come in on this air crash that's happened. Let's listen in.
God. This is very shocking news. We're in the middle of air show in Dubai. Tejas Indian just crashed. Oh my God. Ini pesawat tempur Tejas Indian. Tadi baru aja crash saat Dubai Air Show. Gua masih shock. Oh my God. Tadi gua nggak sempat ambil gambarnya karena kehilangan.
All right, shocked spectators now putting out their videos on social media of what they've just now witnessed. It's not every day that you see these kind of horrifying air shows, but I want to quickly take Captain Vinod on that. Captain Vinod, as you said, that when it comes to such kind of aerial demonstrations, there's much at risk. All right, we'll try and get back Captain Vinod and Akash on that note. But 4 set of visuals we're playing out for you. And we can tell you that you can expect social media to now be buzzing with a whole set of videos over there that are now pouring in ever since the crash actually took place. To be precise, 2:10 p.m. is when the crash actually happened at Dubai's Al Maktoum International Airport. Those are the visuals, the clearest ones so far that CNN News 18 is bringing to you. As we've been highlighting through the expert views that are coming in, it is the angle with which you see it's in fact crashing on to the airport over there. Let me in fact play that out again when it crashes. That perhaps is the angle which gave no ejection time to the pilot, and in deeply tragic confirmation coming in from the Indian Air Force, we've lost an IAF pilot today during that aerial combat that was taking place. It has its own set of challenges. Remember, it's different from wartime. When you look at aerial combat or say aerial demonstrations over here, the typical ones that take place at these air shows, there is much to be looked at. The climate, the temperatures today, the air also could have played a very significant role over there. There's a second set of visuals that we are bringing to you. You can see that point is the point which has in fact been captured over there. In fact, the plume of smoke is what you can see soon after the crash as the air show was taking place. This is an international air show that was happening in Dubai. Over 200 aircrafts were participating in it. Akash is back with us. Akash, what more can you share with us? What information coming in so far with regards to this crash and what led to the pilot perhaps not even having enough time to eject?
I cannot be very sure, but it seems like, the plane lost its thrust or something because it is directly hitting the ground. You can see it was a very part of this formation maneuvering, and a number of, formations are there which are being performed by, Tejas aircraft. We have seen in the last 4 days. In fact, till yesterday, I was very much there, reporting from Dubai and have just returned yesterday. And, till yesterday, I have myself seen that how it was a spectacular performance by the Tejas aircraft, where, in fact, the crowd was very excited to see this particular aircraft that was a very much part of Operation Sindoor, very much performing in the Dubai Air Show. These visuals are somewhere, indicating that, something possibly went wrong, after which, the aircraft directly, in fact, hit the ground and pilot could not get time to, in fact, eject. And that is the reason why we are, in fact, now getting confirmation that, we have lost the pilot in this particular crash, where, in fact, the individuals who were present there confirmed that no ejection took place from the aircraft. And the long shot, from the air show is somewhere suggesting that no ejection took place. And that's why, we have lost the pilot. But Akanksha, once again, while it is unfortunate, that we have lost one pilot, we have lost one aircraft in this particular incident. This is the second crash of the Indian Air Force's Tejas. Of course, we'll get to know as to what went wrong, but there are several sort of, social media comments where people are drawing conclusion. It will be very immature to draw any sort of conclusion without the court of inquiry. And that's why, being a responsible channel, we'll wait for some sort of confirmation from the Indian Air Force as to what went wrong. But right now, visuals are somewhere suggesting that possibly it was a loss of thrust or something, possibly that happened, because of which this incident has happened. Unfortunate incident where, the Tejas aircraft of Indian Air Force, Tejas Mark 1, in fact, was very much performing in the show and, has crashed today.
All right, we are waiting on more information to perhaps come in with regards to what exactly led to the crash. A, B, why couldn't the pilot even get ample time to eject, given that the previous crash that happened, mind you, happened after 23 years of Tejas being in service. It was in 2024, and that time as well, the pilot had ample time to eject. As Captain Vinod had been highlighting, that it's a very capable feature that the Tejas has as far as ejection for the pilot is concerned. But this time around, perhaps it also has to do with the direction in which it was crashing. It was head-on, nose diving over there, as you can see in the visuals that we are playing out for you over here. But let's quickly go across let's quickly go back to Akash, who continues to stay with us. So Akash, you were mentioning that it was the 5th day that the Tejas was flying. How much time is each aircraft allotted to perform? What is, in fact, the procedure that's followed?
Right. So on a daily basis, we get scheduled here in Dubai Air Show where, they in fact dedicate time for the performance. Suryakiran aerobatic team is getting 30 minutes on a daily basis. These are the 9 aircraft, the aerobatic team, the signature team of the Indian Air Force, that is performing for 30 minutes. On the other hand, we had this Tejas aircraft performing, for 8 minutes on a daily basis. In fact, if I remember it correctly, it was only yesterday that it did not perform. Otherwise, it was performing on a daily basis. And, total 3 aircraft are there, very much there, in the air show where, we have the static display, we have the aerial display. And on a daily basis for 8 minutes, this aircraft was performing. As far as this aircraft is concerned, the operational history is concerned, you rightly pointed out, Akanksha, for last 2 decades, it is there operational. And this is the second incident. Tejas Mark 1, we have total 2 squadrons in the Indian Air Force, and it was the 3rd consecutive year that after the request from the UAE administration, this aircraft was sent. And from last 3 years, it has been performing, and it is not the very first time that it is performing, these maneuvers. In fact, during the Air Force Day, also during the Air Force Day celebration, we have seen the aircraft performing. It is using the USGE engines, where in fact, for the upgrades also, we are expecting this GE
Okay.
engines. For the Mark II version also, we are expecting this GE engines. But this is very unfortunate. We'll wait for the investigation, what went wrong, but we have lost the pilot. We have lost one aircraft as well.
All right, stay with me, Akash. I'm also joined in by another guest. Air Marshal Amit Tiwari is also on the broadcast with us. Deeply tragic day for the entire nation since we've lost an Indian Air Force fighter pilot. Air Marshal, what is your assessment? Because given that there have only been two crashes so far, that too the first one happened after 23 years of production as far as Tejas is concerned. That too, the pilot was able to safely eject. This time around, there was, of course, little hope, but what's your assessment of why the pilot perhaps could not eject?
Good evening, ma'am. It's a really a tragic day. As far as I know, and I've been associated with LCA in some manner, and one of the best aircraft. It has got the best control law. Everything is good in it. Why it has happened and why didn't the pilot eject? Let the court of inquiry decide on that. This is flying aircraft is quite a difficult thing, and there are a lot of things which can go wrong, and only a court of inquiry can tell correctly.
That's true. We'll have to wait for a proper investigation to have happened. And we are waiting more information to come in on exactly what led to the crash as well. But what can you tell us about the Tejas fighter jet at the moment? It's also known for its combat survivability, for its combat capabilities, and this is one aircraft that has in fact brought laurels to India.
Yes, ma'am. After quite some time, it took quite some time in developing this aircraft, and now in the Air Force we have two such squadrons, and different versions of it are going to come, and there's going to be the backbone in times to come for the Indian Air Force. It's a very aircraft. It has got zero ejection seat, etc. And it has got the latest weapon. The big advantage with this aircraft is that aircraft is designed for Indian condition and Indian requirement. It is tailored for our requirement, and all the weapons which will be fitted on this are tailored for our requirement. So it's not bought from somewhere outside and then you do some modification, etc. It is our aircraft, and it is a fairly very safe aircraft. But then, this was an air show. One doesn't know what all has gone wrong, and when you are performing at low level, there is a certain amount of risk involved in that. And there are a lot of other air shows where even F-16 or some other aircraft have crashed. It is always an unfortunate thing, but let the court of inquiry decide what happened.
Absolutely, and if we talk about the combat capabilities of Tejas, it's already displayed its valor during Operation Sindoor. Air Marshal Amit Tiwari, you are the best person to tell us how it helped in defending India when it comes to our own aerial capabilities.
Ma'am, this aircraft is a multi-role aircraft in manner that you can use it for the air defense purpose also. You can use it for the ground attack purpose also. It has got all the Indian missiles, Indian radar, Indian flying control system. It is going to get EW system, which will be again of Indian origin. So it will be a backbone of Indian Air Force, because here we don't have to. If you buy an aircraft from outside and you want to do some modification in that aircraft, you have to take permission from the original manufacturer. But here we are the manufacturer, so the whatever amendment, whatever modification we want to do, we can do very easily in this aircraft. There is nothing hidden in it. At times when you buy the aircraft from outside, some source code and all are not told to you. Here everything is homegrown, so it is going to end. It's other versions which are going to join Air Force in future are going to be even better.
And you know, this new squadron has been christened by the Indian Air Force as the Flying Daggers 45. It was after over 3 decades of R&D that you're looking at the Tejas finally being inducted in the Indian Air Force in the year 2016. So that it was ensured by HAL that R&D is not put to waste.
That's true. That's true. The whatever time it took quite some time, and I think the first aircraft came in the Air Force in 2016, and 45 was the first, and now the other squad is 18 squad, and few more squads will come up, and they have done very well in Ops Sindoor also, wherever they were deployed in air defense duties. They have done very well for themselves.
You know, what does stand out is that it was excluded from the Republic Day fly past. In fact, it happened in January this year. That was also because of safety concerns. Can you shed more light on why perhaps that decision was taken?
Ma'am, as a normal, I'll say a safety precaution, whenever we fly any aircraft over in Republic Day fly past, or when you are flying over a very large populated area at low level, we don't fly single engine aircraft. So most of the aircraft which take part in Republic Day, say let it be Su-30 or MiG-29 or Jaguar, they are all twin engine aircraft.